Naaalala mo pa ba kung paano mamuhay ang mga tao noong 1521 sa gitna ng karagatan at kagubatan? Naalala mo pa bang may isang taong hindi naniniwalang patag ang mundo? Kung papaano nahanap ang mga iba't ibang papalasa?
Naaalala niyo na ba ang nakatuklas na bilog ang mundo? Isang Portuguese explorer na si Ferdinand Magellan naglayag upang maghanap ng iba't ibang klaseng kasangkapan, at sa kanyang paglayag natuklasan niya ang isang isla, at ito ay ang bansang Pilipinas. At dito umusbong ang kasunduan, ang simbolo ng krus at Katolisismo.
Pumapasok na ba sa inyong mga isipan isang Italianong scholar na kasakasama ni Magellan? Siya ay si Antonio Pigafetta, isang aristokratong ipinanganak sa lungsod ng Vicenza. Kasama sa ekspedisyon pinanghahawakan ng isang Portugal na si Magellan. King Charles I ng Spain ang pumayag upang makapaglayag ang 270 tauhan at biniyayaan ng 5 barkong nagngangalang Trinidad, San Antonio, Concepcion, Santiago at Victoria.
Halina't samahan niyo kaming magbalik tanaw. Si Ferdinand Magellan ay isang Portuguese na naglayag at nagulo ng ekspedisyon. Nadiskubre ni Magellan ang isla ng Samal. Nabanggit na malaya ang mga taong naninirahan dito. Sila ay nakabahag at may kayumangging balat. Ang mga babae ay nasa tahanan lamang, samantalang ang mga lalaki ay nagtatrabaho, nagtataguyod ng pamilya. Ang mga bahay ay gawa sa nipa at dahon ng saging. Mahihirap sila, ngunit madiskarte. May mga barkong dumating at nanatili muna sa baybayin, hanggang payagan ng bumaba ng kanilang kapitan. Sa pagkakataong pinahintulutan na sila, naghanda ang mga taga-isla ng pagkain: oraka, saging, buko at kanin. Mistulang namangha ang mga Kastila nang malaman nilang halos lahat ng pinagkukunan ng pagkain at kagamitan ay galing sa puno ng niyog. Naging pamilyar sa kanila ang mga taga-isla. Marami silang nabanggit na kwento at pangalan ng mga tao. Maging ang pangalan ng mga isla ay natalakay din nila. Para din magpakita ng kagalakan at pasasalamat, ay dinala sila ng kapitan sa barko at pinakita ang mga ginto, cloves, pepper, ginger, nutmeg at iba pa. Hanggang nagpaalam na sila ng mapayapa at nangakong babalik.
In the year 1521, March 28, they saw a fire on the island a night before they anchored near it. On the same day, they saw a small boat which the native calls baloto, coming towards them with 9 men in it. As soon as they reached near the ship, the king's men went down and entered the ship, but the king remained to his balanghay. Then they talked and they exchanged trades, such as the captain general gave them red cups and other things that are beautiful, and the king's men gave the captain general a large bar of golds and a jar of ginger.
On March 29, 1521, it was Holy Friday. The Captain General sent his slave, who acted as interpreter, ashore in a small boat to ask the king if he had food to have it carried to the ship. And they have finally met the king, who entered the ship. They also met the king's son and had dinner with them.
The last day of March, which is the Easter Sunday, the first Mass in the Philippines was held in Limasawa. It was by Magellan, Raya Columba, and Raya Saji. They went ashore and set up a cross in the summit of the mountain.
At noon Sunday, April 7, 1521, the Captain General and his men entered the port of Cebu. He and his men encountered some struggle when first entering the port of Cebu. April 26, 1521, Raya Zula came to seek help to fight to the other chief of Matan, Silapulapu. According to Zula, the chief of Matan, Silapulapu, refused to obey the king of Spain. He did not want to pay Magellan and his men the gold that they were promised. The Captain General agreed. On April 27, 1521, when the sun rose, Magellan, including his crew of 49, wherein 11 remained on the ship, witnesses how the natives were highly organized at warfare. When the natives saw that they were shooting in their muskets to no purpose, they redoubled their shouts. When their muskets were discharged, the natives would never stand still. The natives shot only at their legs. They continued to retire from the shore, always fighting up to their knees in the water. Recognizing the captain, so many turned upon him that they knocked his helmet off his head twice, but he always stood firmly like a good knight. The captain to fall face downward, when immediately they rushed upon him with iron and bamboo spears and with their cutlasses until they killed their mirror, their light, their comfort, and their true guide, Ferdinand Magellan.
When it was written. It was written on the 10th of August 1519 by Antonio Pigafetta. Why it was written? I think Antonio Pigafetta wrote this to give the researchers the exact details and informations of what really happened during the Magellan's voyage, and for the younger generations also, just like me, to give us an idea of what really happened during the first circumnavigation of the world. And lastly, it is very essential to this subject, which is the readings in the Philippine history. What is the purpose of the expedition? I think aside from Magellan's main purpose, which is the trading of spices, is that it has something to do with new discoveries of different cultures, traditions, and civilizations.
What was the world during that time when the document was written? In the year 1300s, the spices in Europe are very expensive. As in, mahal talaga siya. Kasi kailangan yung dumaan sa malalayong lugar just to get the spices. And the spices are luxury items and a status symbol sa Europe. Kasi pag meron ka nun, mayaman ka. Kasi ikaw lang nag-e-export ng spices during that time. European merchants traveled dangerous routes where kailangan nilang dumaan ng Middle East, ng Africa, para lang makuha yung spices sa Asia.
What are the descriptions of the leaders or ancestors? Senior means the king or the chief. They wore gold earrings. They have their ears so large that they can pass their arms through them. They go naked with woven clothes from the bark of tree about previous. Some chiefs wear cotton clothes embroidered with silk at the end by means needles. They wore necklaces of great value. Some have spots of gold on their teeth. They are dark, fat, and painted tattooed. They anointed themselves with coconut and with linseed oil,
as a protection against the sun and the wind. They have black hair that falls to the waist. What are the traditions, customs of the people during this period? Friendship or kasi-kasi, it's a kind of ritual worship where they shed their blood from its right arm and the other will do the same and partake each other's blood. They raise clasped hands and face towards the sky, then turn it to others. And when they were about to drink, they extend their fist on the left arm. They all make that signs, one towards each other when they drink. In marriage tradition, one can have many wives as they wish, but one of them is the principal wife. Our ancestors are heavy drinkers of palm wines. Animals and resources, our ancestors produce dogs, cats, goats, swine, pork, rice, millet, panikub, sorgo, ginger, orange zest, lemons, sugar cane, garlic, honey, coconut nangkas, gourds, flesh of many kinds, palm wine, and gold.